and welcome back to Toby's Video Skills with Toby. It's me. In today's video, I want to show you how to install a roof rack. Yes, guys, finally I made a decision. Finally, I found a roof rack which I like, at least the looks and the technical specification as well. And I want to show you step by step how I installed it because it's kind of a puzzle, I feel like. Price-wise, it's probably cheaper than other ones. It's no pre-drilling need or anything. You don't need to drill through the roof of your Jeep Wrangler JL 2020 at all. You just have to mount it on top. But therefore, you have to puzzle a little bit, I would call it. I hope my video helps you as well, just to understand what's happening and how to install the roof rack. But I think it turned out pretty well, pretty good, and I like it. And I'll give it a test. I mean, in the next couple of videos, you will see what I loaded up with. Something like this maybe. If you like this kind of stuff, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to, and if you have any questions throughout the video or afterwards, please feel free to enter also some comments. Let's have a look what's in the box. Perfect, we have the user manual. That's what it should look like at the end. It should be two pieces, the back end and the front end. I'll focus on the back today. Packing list, couple instructions, fingers crossed. A bunch of end caps, bunch of screws, bunch of black screws. Let me call them bolts, a lot of bolts. Silver and black. In my opinion, those brackets, those are the ones which make the difference in terms of the heavy load you can put on, especially because this is not screwed into the frame or any other support than the rain gutter and just the roof itself. I think they support a little bit. Don't overdo it. I mean, there's a description and specification how much you carry. Put an end cap into the tube. I mean, when it tells you to do this first, here's the part number on it. So we'll follow it step by step. We'll start with put end cap into the tube. That's the short one. I just want to show you. That's kind of the channel you have. You can see through. And that's where you can mount other things in it, and those are the caps which go on top of them. Will you ever be able to get them out? I don't know. They look pretty sturdy, to be honest. Look at that. First one. I mean, that's something which can happen. Look at it from shipping. It's exposed. That means it might rust when water gets to it, so that's something to keep an eye on. And also spray, maybe just spray something on it. Other than that, it looks pretty solid, pretty well made. As you can see, this one, I think it's good. Put them on. Rubber mallet. Without a rubber mallet, oh god, that would be a bummer. I think one trick to make it easy, instead of having, so here you can see the channel, right? Very important to align it correctly with those ones. Instead of having it like sideways like this, try to do it, align it here on one side. It looks like this on the other side, and then just hammer it on. Because it feels like it has the best approach to seal, kind of. Let me show you one more time. Here you can see I line it on one side of this channel, on the other side. Be careful that you don't destroy it. Done. You do not need a lot of force. Be careful. We're done with step 1. Let's continue with step 2. Let's figure out, connect part 5, 6, which are those. Let's figure out part 10, 11 as well as 12. Seems to be a mounting blade. You can see there's this angle and also this hole. Sorry, I don't know how you call that. And part 6, mounting plate. 5, 6. Then we need 10, 11, 10 flange bolts. So looks like number 10. And then we need 11, which is a flange nut. And then we also need a 11, 12, most likely one of those. This looks like a 14. We have here number 5. This should be number 6. And you can And then we need the silver one, which goes from the outside in here, closes in here. All right, I had to do it. Went through the list. Everything is here. I checked if we have all the bolts and the numbers. Aligned it here just to make sure I have everything and I can proceed working and I know what I need. Which means we'll continue with the assemble. Ta-da! Next step, you can see we need to have bolt number 12 and we need 11 as well. Pretty small one, which fits in those flanges. And those not, what do you call it? A flange nut. I don't know why they have different material here. Don't ask me that. Black would have been fine for me, but it is what it is. Putting it in. Be careful not to tighten it, they say. All right. Beware of not tightening them down, because what will happen is we will slide them in here. So it means we have the channel, we do have those bolts, and they go right in it. When you tie them down, you have to loosen them again. So we'll take those. It's down here. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those bars. And that means we have 4 bars. And we need to have 2 of those each inserted in 1 bar. So that actually means 2 long ones, 2 short ones. The good thing is, as soon as you have in them, you can still swivel them around how you need them or rotate however you need them. So put it in here. We have determined the appropriate position and tighten the screws. So we'll do 3 and then we'll do 4. So I'll check on the car what we need. I'll start here inside with the car first. This is nothing you want to take off quickly. I'll do the other side as well. So I was positioning them now. Before I do anything else, I tighten them down here. There is nothing specific how much you should tighten them down. So I would like to add some blue Loctite thread locker to it. It's up to you if you want to do that. But pro tip, I'm going to push this bracket with this nut, as much in as possible. So this bar is as far outside as possible. I will tighten them down now, those ones here first, and then I will go towards those ones. I did tighten all those nuts down. Now we'll put it on, and now you will need probably a socket for one side, and on the other side you might need some kind of wrench to hold it. I'll try to figure it out and let you know what you need. I'll give it a try. I'll start with easy tightening one round and see if it works. You want to push this up and at the same time tighten it down a little bit, not too much. Just that it lines, very important. I think I'm doing it now for all of them. One time just tightening it down a little bit, and I use my hands on the back side just to hold it. And then the second time will be with a wrench in the hand and in the front the socket to just have a little bit of force. You might also want to use some thread locker for that. I'll do the other side as well. This fiberglass, don't tighten it too much down. There's no torque value attached. I wish there would be something. It's not, so be careful. Don't tighten it too much down, snug. That's why you want to use some thread locker. And then I just want to install the rear at the moment. The front is loose, and I will focus on the back, but it applies to the front as well, the same. So now we'll work on the next page. That means the H-type mounting plate, and that's basically what supports the roof a little bit and the weight on top. This will be like a puzzle. I'll start here, and same applies like before. Do not tighten it down because they will go into the channel. I think there's no need to see me struggle doing that. So I'll show you when it's done, but I'll just follow step by step. Reading instructions, that's where I'm at. So what it should do, you see this little rubber here, which is basically an assemble, and it's adjustable depending on your roof and how high you have to set it up, but you can screw it in and screw it out. So I'll pick the smaller screws, but I'm not sure. I have to try it and figure out if I need the longer or shorter screws. And so at the moment everything is loose. I need to tighten those screws, which are a T30 I believe, which are up here, and then we also need to tighten, of course, on the other side, which you can now see, this little friend. We need to tighten this one as well, make sure that it has the appropriate height to support those bars. What I'm doing, I will install all 4 bars in the rear, because I just want to have the maximum support on the rear and not at front, because I want to take off the front. This is how it looks at the end. So this is how it goes in, which means this rubber always is on the roof, on touching the roof, and you can adjust it. And as you can see, we have those screws and also those square parts, and the square parts go into the C-channel of the crossbars. And those ones on this bottom side, so that's how it slides in. Those pieces go all the C-channel as well, but on the mounted to the roof bars basically. What a rubber usually looks like is like a nut with some rounding thing on top, and then there's this little thing which just pops on, and you can adjust them in height because it's just a nut, but you can put on a rubber, so it has a little cushion against the roof. But how much and how good it is, I guess I'll figure that out with this one. I assembled all of them. They all go on the roof, all 4, and then we have 4 crossbars. I'll show you how it works. As mentioned, this is how it goes in. You have to align it down here and back here, and at the end you just tighten them down with the Torx 30, I think, T30, and you can adjust here the side as well on the bottom. I tighten down those nuts, those bolts to those nuts first, so they're not going anywhere. I just have to tighten or loosen the bottom, and it's something I need to adjust depending on the angle. Sliding in all of them now. I'm doing the same here on this side. Sliding it in. Now I just need to align them in which distance I want to have them. Hi! I want to be able to open the freedom panels. That's very important to me. So I'm having them laying loose on the other side. but here on this side I can just pop them up, slide them in, and what I have to figure out later, how to tighten it down from the bottom. I'm going on the other side, pushing it back in. I can slide them in here as well. That's why you don't tighten them down at the beginning, you just wait. And now I can see where they are, if I have enough space for the freedom panel or not, and I think I do have enough that I can pop it off, open. So I'm first tightening down those ones, figure out if this one has enough room or if I need to loosen them a little bit more or tighten them. And then I hope I can tighten also down the screws below here. You can see it a little closer. You can see it a little closer, that's what it looks from the side. Tightening those ones down. And I still need to tighten the ones on the bottom. Hope I can do it with a, I don't know, some kind of tool I have, or not. The reason why I want to put all four in the back is just that it spreads the weight better. I'll be using one of these to tighten them down on the bottom. First doing it hand tight just to save some water, some time. To make sure at the same time that this one is not too tight as well, so it can come down and not putting too much pressure. So it's rubber. This side is tight, let's do it on the other side. In the dark. Great. Making sure this one is also tight. And I can tell you, we made it. Look at this beauty. Took me a while because I needed to readjust the crossbars a little bit better to left and right, so I needed to loosen it. And with the proper tools, you should be able to do it quicker than I did, because the quarter ratchet I didn't have in place first, so it took me way longer. But make sure you learn out of my mistakes, and then it might look like this. And I'm pretty happy with the result here. I'll show you a little bit more footage of what it looks like also during daylight. So that's finally the car parked outside, so you can see it from front when I walk towards the car. And I think I aligned it good enough. Could it be more perfect? Oh, absolutely, but that's not big of a deal. I'm happy they can open the freedom panels, which is amazing. And I think that's something which was very, very important. That's why I put all the four crossbars to the rear. And I could even put on the rain gutters the mounting brackets to support it a little bit more if I want to, and spread the weight. But I'm not planning to have a heavy load on there at the moment, so we'll see what comes down the road. And here a little view from the back so you can get an idea. And then you see also what's left basically in terms of bolts. The big long bolts are left, and a lot of them. Also those T channel sliders are left. You can, maybe use it for them.